Donald Trump under fire after commenting on the death of an NBA player's relative. Critics say he politicized a family tragedy with this tweet, quote, Dwyane Wade's cousin was just shot and killed walking her baby in Chicago. Just what I have been saying, African Americans will vote Trump. He later tweeted his condolences considerably later, saying that the family are in his thoughts and prayers. New Jersey Governor Chris Christie coming to Trump's defense.
If people want safer streets, they want police supported, then they should vote for Donald Trump because that's what he'll do. Let's focus on what happened. What happened was the murder of this person pushing a stroller. It's unacceptable in an American city to continue to have this level of violence, and the level of violence in Chicago is unacceptable. That's what Donald Trump has said, and that's what he'll change when he's president of the United States.
Joining us now to talk about it, Milwaukee County Sheriff David Clark. Sheriff, thanks for being with us. Was this smacking of exploitation an overly political response to a tragic killing, or was Donald Trump really making a valid point that this is another senseless killing, an example of indiscriminate violence in the inner cities?
Good for Donald Trump. The only reason he's taking heat for this from the left and from the Democrats and from Mrs. Bill Clinton is because he's putting the focus and the spotlight where it should be, these hellholes called the American ghetto here in the United States. We've heard nothing from Barack Obama with all this carnage taking place, not just in Chicago, but all across the American ghetto. We've heard nothing in Chicago from Rahm Emanuel, nothing from the governor, Rauner. We've heard nothing from Clinton on this carnage. 460 people have been murdered. Most of those black people by other black people, just like Ms. Aldridge, God rest her soul, and nobody wants to talk about it. It's the, don't look behind the curtain over here stuff. Over 2,700 people have been shot in the great city of Chicago this year in non-fatal shootings. 455 people have been murdered in Chicago against, here's another statistic. About 275 coalition forces in Afghanistan have been killed since the start of Barack Obama's second term. Think about that for a minute. That is staggering. So the more that Donald Trump continues to focus on this, we'll finally get to where we need to be, and it's to get rid of these American ghettos and improve lives for black people.
All right. Donald Trump tweeted out yet again several tweets this morning. I'll just read his first one. Now that African Americans are seeing what a bad job Hillary-type policy and management has done to the inner cities, they want Trump. A few days ago, of course, he said that African Americans will vote Trump. That's a direct quote. Why isn't that reflected in any of the polling data where he consistently stands at about 1% to 2% among black voters?
Well, look, this is a recent strategic move on the part of Donald Trump. I think it's brilliant, though, because the Democrats and Mrs. Bill Clinton never saw this coming. They've now had to spend money and resources on putting out ads to fight off this attempt by Donald Trump to plead for the black American vote. So, if they're reacting to it, that's where you want them to be. They know that they have a problem if people start to open their eyes, black people. It's not going to happen overnight. Everybody wants this instantaneous movement of the needle. I'm not predicting any seismic shift here, but now we're talking about what we need to be talking about in terms of the American ghetto, right. Cities like Chicago, Baltimore, St. Louis, Los Angeles, Milwaukee. We have to do something about this. We have to improve the quality of life for black people. I don't care how uneducated and impoverished they are. Okay, we still have to do something about it. Donald Trump is the only one that wants to talk about it.
Donald Trump can do that. It was just last week, essentially, that he said he could solve the gun violence in Chicago within a week. I mean, do you really believe that?
Well, not a week. I mean, some of these things are figure of speech. But to me, what I interpret that as means very quickly, because that's what we have to do. Keep an eye on the amount of murders that have happened in some of these cities across America. It's on an uptick. So here's how he can help. Appoint an attorney general who's going to look at the American police officer as an ally in the pursuit of justice and in the pursuit of criminal behavior, not to be seen as an adversary and almost a hostility toward the American police officer. That alone will make a difference because the police will become assertive again. Look all you got to do is look at what Rudy Giuliani did in the city of New York. It didn't take him a decade to do that. Some smart police policies, some smart strategies,
but it took
a
years.
full
I
court
was
press
living
against
here
the
during
criminal
that period
element,
of time.
and you can make a difference.
You know, and well, the problem
It's a figure of
arguably
speech.
is
Give me
that
a
when
break.
Donald Trump says I can do it in a week, you know, people tune out because they just realize that's nonsense. But let me ask you about something else that occurred that some people are saying, you know, was inappropriate. Other people are applauding it. The MTV VMA Awards last night, Beyonce was there. She brought to the red carpet, and there they are, the mothers of people killed in interactions with police. Then during the show, she had her backup dancers create an image of people being shot down with red lights flooding the stage. What's your reaction to all of that?
Nothing. And look, I don't listen to Beyonce. I don't buy her music. I'm a country music fan, but it's pretty obvious to me that she used them as a backdrop. Look, we all love moms. Moms are great. Those moms suffered a great loss. Many of their sons were involved in behavior that contributed to their own demise, okay? But that doesn't mean that we should come down on moms. But we all know Beyonce's a one percenter, and all she's trying to do is you know, get her book stamped that she's down with the struggle. She doesn't care about these people either. How much money has she donated to any of these causes that she claims to support? And it's like any other Hollywood elitist, okay?
Right.
It's all theater.
Right. Sheriff David Clark, pleasure to have you with us today. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.